About Ashutosh Museum and its founder, Professor Debaprasad Ghosh. I should also mention the key role that Professor Ghosh and the Ashutosh Museum played in the study of regional regional arts and crafts of Eastern India, and also foundation of so many small regional museums and private museums throughout Eastern India. It also helped to a very large extent the making of some of the finest field workers in this field. One of them is Tarapada Shatra. Tarapada Shatra first came to the Ashutosh Museum as a student of its short-time teacher's training art appreciation course. Then he almost fell in love with the place and also became a close disciple of Professor Ghosh, who encouraged him to make studies of Rar Bengal, the southern part of Bengal, which was left unstudied. Ashutosh Museum thought from the very beginning, and Professor Ghosh of course, that mere establishment of a museum is not enough. It's also necessary to make a group of trained personnel who can look after other museums. And that's why the idea of opening the course on museology came uppermost in his mind. And he tried and persuaded the University Grants Commission finally to open a new course of museology in Kolkata. Secondly, he also encouraged persons, to go to fan out in the rural parts of different areas of West Bengal to recover whatever is there, to make field studies of folk religion, folk culture, folk art, and folk music. Tarapada Shatra combined in him all the qualities of not only a field worker but also a great collector. He collected not only objects but he collected stories, he collected musical instruments, he collected folk traditions, and he didn't stop at there. He also started writing on them. In fact, early in his career, he started a small, maybe 16-page bi-weekly journal called Kaushiki, where he not only wrote himself, but he also encouraged others to contribute. And in that way, he was able to build up a group of very dedicated field workers who collected these objects, brought to the museum, sometimes to the Ashutosh Museum, or sometimes when the local people provided space and other things to build up local museums. And Tarapada, in course of time, became close to another very important personality, David McCutcheon. David McCutcheon, a renowned scholar in his field, first came to teach English in Vishwabharati, and later on he went to teach in the Department of Comparative Literature in Jadavpur University. But that was his profession. But his real interest was to study the terracotta temples of Eastern India, not only different parts of Bengal, but also Orissa and present Bangladesh and other areas. Because he thought, I think the idea started from his early days in Shantiniketan, but after that when he moved in the 60s, late 60s to Jadavpur, then he became almost the most dedicated field worker to study the terracotta temples of Bengal. And who else? Tarapada Shatra was his constant companion. He started as not only an interpreter, but also a person who would provide all the local information, local history, etc. So in that way, the combination of Tarapada and David McCutcheon yielded not only David specialized in the terracotta temples, but Tarapada was looking into all different connected aspects. And ultimately, Tarapada was able to read the uh, inscriptions, the panels of inscriptions that were embedded in many of the temples. And then also he was looking at not only the terracotta temples, but also the woodworks, metalworks, the rituals connected with the temples, the rituals connected with some of the local gods and goddesses. And all these things remained in his mind, and when he opened a museum in Bagnan, in a small place called Nabashan, called Ananda Niketan. Later on, he moved to Kolkata, where he got a job, and he continued his studies in this particular field and publications. From the very beginning, I had very close relationship with Tarapada when he was a student, and later on when he opted for museology, and I was teaching part-time because during those days I got a job in the Indian Museum, Kolkata. Indian Museum, Kolkata in 1963, and Tarapada was a student of museology. So he, in spite of other contexts, he always had very good relationship, and he always regarded me as his teacher. But I must confess that I didn't have the capabilities of Shatra to become his teacher. In fact, he became my teacher in course of time because he traveled so much, he noticed so much, recorded so much, collected so much, and ultimately he encouraged a large group of field workers and museum people, and there was almost a museum movement. And Tarapada in the Ashutosh Museum and the Department of Museology got the help of two other persons. One was my fellow student, my fellow student, not student, I should say. We were fellow in my museology class, Santosh Bose. And Santosh Bose was also a very rectifying personality, and Tarapada was close to Santosh. And the third one was Pran Krishna Pal, an artist of Bengal school who worked at the Ashutosh Museum as a sort of photographer and documentation officer. So in all, Ashutosh Museum provided a platform in which persons like Pran Krishna Pal, a contemporary artist, Santosh Bose, a dedicated field worker and a political person, academics as well as hardcore classical scholars, they all combined together. And that's why Ashutosh Museum had this varied type of collection. It had very early terracottas from Chandraketu God, Badachapa in the district of northern 24 Parganas, or Tamralipta or Tomlu. And there we felt that the Archaeological Survey of India, with its limited scope, could not do proper justice to all these small but extremely important historical sites that were cropping up every now and then. And it was another person was there, the assistant curator, P.C. Dasgupta, Paresh Chandra Dasgupta, who ultimately became the director of archaeology and museums of Government of West Bengal and built up an extremely fine and nice museum for the state government, the State Archaeological Gallery. So the enthusiasm of Dasgupta, the enthusiasm of David McCutcheon, and Tarapada Shatra created a totally different atmosphere in which the study of arts and crafts in Eastern India got an extremely important fillip. About when I ultimately moved to Jaipur in 1972, I must confess that by that time I changed my moorings to a different field, Islamic art, and ultimately being the director of a museum which was exclusively devoted to the kind of royal collection and Rajput and Mughal, I drifted a little farther, to a different field, but always kept contact with my alma mater and maintained my interest, though I did not do any work myself, or in fact did not contribute a single article for Kaushiki or any other there. But whenever I came to Calcutta, for home visit or for delivering lectures at the Victoria Memorial or the Indian Museum, Kolkata, or the State Archaeological Gallery, Tarapada was always there, and we used to cope with the current research in that particular field. I remember, in 1980 precisely, when Tarapada published a book which was a pioneering work in that particular field called Banglar Daru Bhaskarya. And he sent a copy to me, a signed copy, through one of his friends to Jaipur. And I also remember that when I was really marveled at the kind of serious work that he did in this field. Now, this is the book. It was published originally from his own museum called Ananda Niketan Kirtishala. And there is, his dedication. And Dr. Ashok Kumar Das, Shraddha Bhajaneshu, with respect, Tarapada Satra. But along with that, he wrote a letter. And this was his letter written on 4th October 1980. And in that letter, it's written in Bengali. And there he mentioned that he wanted my opinion, my views, and suggestions, if any, so that he can improve upon and incorporate them in a future edition, which he did. And in that letter, he mentioned that he not only incorporated the information that he could gather from that area, but also from my own native place called Godbeta in the district of Midnapur, northern part, now Purva Mednipur, that is the East Mednipur. And there he mentioned that he found a group of wood carvers and carpenters who are still continuing that position. And he told me, he drew my attention that he has been to that area and he has also incorporated them in the book. So he wrote that বইটা পড়ে একটু লিখে জানাবেন, বিশেষ করে গড়বেতা অঞ্চলের সূত্রধরদের সম্পর্কে বহু তথ্য এই বইটিতে আছে, যা সংস্কৃতির ইতিহাসে একদিন প্রয়োজনীয় হবে বলে আমি আশা করা যায়। এছাড়া কৌশিকী পত্রিকাটি কোন রকমে চালাচ্ছি, পরে আপনাকে পোস্টে পাঠাচ্ছি। অ্যান্ড here there what he said that সংস্কৃতির ইতিহাসে একদিন প্রয়োজনীয় হবে বলে আশা করা যায় is almost prophetic, because now most of these things have disappeared. The tradition is also dying completely, and what he collected at that time, the information, and you could see he made some of the workers and some of the works and the quality of that work that he mentioned. And not only that, this is a sort of older piece that he included, as a cover picture. And he covered, and then I was really extremely impressed, and I was considering that, my God, these are things which are not unknown to me, but I never looked at with the eyes of persons like Tarapada Satra. So when I wrote back, I unfortunately can't trace the copy that I wrote, or I don't know whether I at all kept a copy of that. So he immediately wrote back, আপনার চিঠি যথাসময়ে পেয়েছি এবং যথেষ্ট উৎসাহ লাভ করেছি, কারণ আমার এই বই সম্পর্কে এতখানি প্রশংসা কেউ করেনি। আপনার অনুপ্রেরণা পেয়ে আমি বইটির ইংরেজি সংস্করণে হাত দিয়েছি, বিকজ আই টোল্ড হিম, in my letter I mentioned that this book must be translated into English to reach a wider public, because they are completely unaware about this particular aspect of art of Bengal. So he said that তবে আরও অনেক কাঠের কাজ এমন নিদর্শন পেয়েছি যা কিছু নিয়ে ফটোগ্রাফ আরও দিতে পারবো বলে মনে হয়। আপনি যদি বিশদভাবে গাইডলাইন করে দেন তাহলে ইংরেজি ভার্সানে একটু অদল বদল করব, তবে কাজটা শুরু করেছি, আপনাকে মাঝে মাঝে পত্রাঘাত করব। So he started, he followed my suggestion and started to work for an English translation. The English translation, as far as I know, never came out. But in the edition that George Michel did on most of the writings of David McCutcheon, there Tarapada included a chapter on the wood carvings of Bengal. And I think that's based on his own field work and what he wrote in that book. So in that way, and later on, in the later part of his life, there was an enlarged edition of his book. That the first book was Banglar Daru Bhaskarya, but this one is named as Banglar Kathir Kaj, and it was published by the government of West Bengal.
Meaning, Kathir Kaj meaning?
Same meaning. Kathir Kaj means woodwork, woodworkings of Bengal, and this is published by the State Archaeological Gallery and the Regional Center for Archaeology of Eastern India. And he covered a much wider field in this book, and so this is one aspect. I mentioned about the wood carvings and other things, but he has written about, say for example, the metal chariots of Bengal. It's a tradition that during the time of Ratha festival, following the Ratha Jatra of Orissa, in many parts of Western Bengal and also Northern Bengal, they bring out Rathas. These are made of wood and metal. And Tarapada Satra studied virtually every single metal chariot or Ratha in different parts of Bengal and made a complete list. He wrote several articles and also a book. So in that way, and in his Kaushiki, he wrote on various other aspects also. Like, for example, the first introduction of railways and its impact on rural Bengal, the first introduction of telegraph and the impact of that thing, how the pre-India post area, how the Dak Harkaras, that means, the mail bearers used to do the job of carrying mail from one place to another. And in that way, he studied virtually every aspect of rural life. Imagine a man in his lifetime, and he didn't get much, nothing. He did it all for love. Because for the publications or other things, since most of these are published by small publishers, there was no question of getting any royalty. And later on, much later in his life, he got a government job, which was also not, very liberally paid job. But nevertheless, his spirit was undaunted. And how I wish there are more people like Tarapada Shatra.
Where are the books? His books, can one buy them?
Yes, many of these books are published by the government of West Bengal, and some books by the State Archaeological Gallery. Yes, many of them. And his Kaushiki, the journal that he published and continued for several years, now there is a complete reproduction of all the issues of Kaushiki published in 4 large volumes. So they are available. And his archives have been donated to the State Archaeological Gallery, where the photographs that were taken by him. And I also didn't mention, I should have, that he also got unstinted help and cooperation of a civilian, of a district magistrate, Amiyo Kumar Bandopadhyay, who was himself involved with him in his work. And he also wrote at least 2 very important books in Bengali, which are Bibles of, for people who are interested in the regional arts and crafts of West Bengal. I feel so sad about another thing, the almost criminal, negligence shown to these museums. These museums which were published with so much of toil, so much of love, and virtually with no money, but total dedication. The Ashutosh Museum, or I mentioned about the Guru Shodai Museum in earlier, and also the State Archaeological Gallery is of course well managed and it's in a good shape. But the condition of Ashutosh Museum is pathetic beyond any description, beyond any words. Now, because the reason is, first of all, it ultimately remained as an appendage of the University of Kolkata, which is a state university, perennially starved for fund. And nobody realizes the importance of a museum in the university system. There are departments of ancient Indian history, department of archaeology, department of Islamic history and culture, and also history of art, not to speak of the department of museology. For all these departments, Ashutosh Museum should be the laboratory, should be the place, where the students and research workers spend most of their time. And I personally feel that unless these departments are involved totally with the working of the museum in some way, the purpose of having a university museum is completely defeated. But somehow it's very tragic that most of the teaching departments have become extremely formal. I mean, they have become very theoretical. There are hardly any scope of field work. There are not much of, work in the field, and this is a very big loss. Unless the students are able to spend some time in the field, what's the point of studying archaeology or museology, for example? Yes, they do go, the students of archaeology do go for sort of so-called field work, but that's not all. It's not only field work, but also collection, interpretation, conservation. Every single aspect of these things should be clear if the Ashutosh Museum is, revamped, and there are more interest shown to them, more money fueled into their effort. I am sure it will regain its old glory and would be able to create a much better and conducive atmosphere for the students' community and the general public.